upper class pure heart craft. Now, we may use fish line, but with the fish line, it does not have the capacity to stay in form. So that may be a little bit tricky if you were to use fish line, because most of the times, whenever there's beadwork involved, there's fish line. So the options are, okay, let the fish line remain there. I will explain later. There's something called pipe cleaners. If you find, there are many in craft shops, and they usually, I believe they are longer than this, but if you bend them, they have the wire within, it stays in position. So you're able to, as I said, they're supposed to be longer, but if they are very easy to manipulate. So if you have that, you have, okay, in the form of a heart, so you can try and just, so you have something close to that. Yes, I know you can bend it a little bit more within. Let me try that. So they can put in the beads, and then you have the, like the heart. Okay, so there is pipe cleaners. There is an option of the wire. So this is something, one of the random things that I have, but depending on the type of wire, like for this, I can't do it with my hands, so we'll need pliers or something that can, at this point it might be pliers, or a way of, yeah, of twisting this particular wires. This is not a pliers, but yeah. So at this point, you need the pliers so that it can stay in position. So they will have put the beads around, and then now they can do that. I believe the fish line or a string can be used, or you can just stay that way when they have finished with all the beads. So if this is not an option, because at least with this wire you can stretch it out and then add the beads. For the upper classes, as we said, for the lower classes, it's a choking hazard, especially for the size of the beads. So we have this, and I believe there might be other options, but these are what was available to me. So you have this, and then you can fold it, but not, you have to have something that connects or ties the wire together so that the children don't hurt themselves. Now, in the context that we do not get the fish line or the pipe cleaners or the wire, I was thinking of upgrading the earlier craft but still including the beads. So for the lower classes, they can do just without, and then as we go higher, you include the beads. In this case, we have the papers, whether luminous or whatever else may be, and then you have fish line, which is quite available, and then you add the beads. Now where you change it up is you add, let me do that as I, so you have your hearts, your paper hearts, so you add that. I want this to be in the middle to break the color. And then now in this part is where now we add we attach to the fish line. So you get a longer, you basically add, so in this point you not be tying, but you just be adding, you place another heart template or the 3D heart, and then you have your fish line there. You just need to assist it to be on position, and then you have your, you ensure that it's all nicely seamed in, and then I believe we'll add, okay, so there's that part. So you add glue on this side so that you can have the 3D effect. So you have that. Now what happens is you have the lower heart, then you add beads, then you have this heart, and then you can add beads that way. I know it's not long enough, but you have that. So they can do like a set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hearts, depending on time, depending on the age. And then now they have that aspect of a paper heart garland. So it still includes the beads. I know for now I am doing this. If we get somebody who can actually, if we get the craft and all that, not the craft, if there's another aspect to it, I will inform you. But for now, this is what I've thought of, and even as I've pushed it lower so that you can have a complete. So they have that, and definitely to be longer, then they can tie up so that the beads don't come out, and then they have something close to that. So that is still including beads in the work, and they can come up with different designs, and I believe that will still have them having a craft. So we'll see about the wires. To be confirmed which way we are moving, but that is an upgrade of the lower classes. And then also the options of making a paper heart, because when it comes to now with Fishline, it will come to this particular aspect, but now we need to get the particular wire, or the wire that we'll use that is easy for the children to use. Okay, so thank you and see you soon. Bye bye.